found liable for sexual abuse and defamation. No questions are off the table, and we agreed to no condition.
I know. It's because I don't have a noise gate.
She's ready.
It's because I don't have a noise gate, okay? There's nothing I can do.
Marsh looks like he's
So please stop
dead.
reading the fucking annoying comments, okay? The sound is all fucky, echoey, double audio. I know. It's because I don't have a fucking noise gate. I have a USB mic, okay? Shut the fuck up. You're gonna hear a little bit of it.
We're here to get voters the answers that they
Shut
deserve. Our audience is made up of Republicans and
it's
undeclared
the
voters who plan to
Starbucks.
take part
Tell
in
them to
New
bring it
Hampshire's
up.
Republican
They can.
primary. They'll get the chance to question the former president directly. These voters and the issues that they care about the most will help decide if former President Trump will get a second chance to take on President Joe Biden. Please welcome the frontrunner for the Republican nomination, former President Donald Trump. President Trump, thank you for your time here tonight. We got a great crowd here in New Hampshire, a lot of voters with a lot of questions about what your 2024 term would look like.
It's wild that they threw her to the fucking wolves like this, by the way. This is like, she's so green. Like, she's like our age. She's not like, she's like super young. She hasn't been at CNN for like super long, you know what I mean? And they literally made her do the Donald Trump New Hampshire town hall, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to me. Anyway,
Okay. This is set. The game's loaded.
fucking hell.
If you try to play the game right now, it says checking internet connection to see if you're allowed to play software yet. So I think literally at midnight local time it'll unlock.
So if we had a New Zealand Nintendo account, we would be able to play it right now.
I think it's via internet, so I think you have to be physically there or have a VPN somehow to switch.
She's a nasty woman,
We
folks.
should have flown to New Zealand.
Yeah.
Very nasty.
We'd probably be having more fun, honestly. But
Yeah.
anyway.
I'm
Very
sure.
nasty, folks.
I'm gonna nap, but my phone will be. You can call me.
Nasty, nasty woman.
Good night.
Okay. What do you mean good night, bro? You are not going to bed.
I'm gonna nap.
Okay.
But you
Marsh,
can call me if you need
the coffee's gonna be here.
break. Call me if you need break.
Hey,
All
the
right.
coffee's gonna be
Alright,
here.
yeah.
Oh, it is here.
No, come in. Please.
Sorry, thank you.
What another Trump term would look like. We'll get to the voters shortly, but your polls show that you are dominating the Republican race right now, but you are also under active federal investigation for trying to overturn the 20.
Yeah, I got you a venti. Why are you complaining?
I wanted a grande.
Can you give me my cold brew, please? Oh my God! You just literally grabbed your coffee, started complaining because it was too big, and forgot to give me my coffee.
Some people don't want it big. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No problem. That's what.
Thank you very
Yeah, that's what you were supposed to say in this regard, in this situation. Wait, so the person Caitlin Collins used to work for the Daily Wire?
Ugh.
I mean, before we get to this, let's watch a little bit of this, I think.
About what your 2024 term would look like, what another Trump term would look like. We'll get to the
Well, we're
voters
gonna add jobs.
shortly, but your polls show that you are dominating the Republican race right now, but you are also under active federal investigation for trying to overturn the 2020 election results. Your first term ended with a deadly riot at the Capitol, and you still have not publicly acknowledged the 2020 election results. Why should Americans put you back in the White House?
Because we did fantastically. We got 12 million more votes than we had in, as you know, in 2016. I actually say we did far better in that election. Got the most that anybody's ever gotten as a sitting president
As
of
a
the United
loser?
States. I think that when you look at that result and when you look at what happened during that election, Unless you're a very stupid person, you see what happens. A lot of the people.
Dude, they
still
they
lost.
stacked the fucking room with his supporters, dude. They're laughing at him. Oh my god, this is so good. At this point, you know already that I take a very nihilistic approach to this sort of thing because I don't expect anything good from the media. Obviously, it's been a long time since I've given up on the media being like actually contentious. Oh my god, dude.
People in this audience, and maybe a couple that don't, but most people understand what happened. That was a rigged election, and it's a shame that we had to go through it. It's very bad for our country. All over the world, they looked at it, and they saw exactly what everyone else saw. You look, even if you just look recently with the 51 intelligence agents, that made a 16-point difference. If you look at the
Mr.
FBI,
President.
if you look at the FBI and Twitter, they call it Twitter files, made a big difference. If you look at
Mr.
Through the
President,
Vote,
back to what you just said there, though, it was not a rigged election. It was not a stolen election. You and your supporters lost more than 60 court cases on the election. It's been nearly 2.5 years. Can you publicly acknowledge that you did lose the 2020 election?
Let me just go on. If you look at Through the Vote, they found millions of votes on camera, on government cameras, where they were stuffing ballot boxes. So with all of that, I think it's a shame that what happened. I think it's a very sad thing for our country. I think it's a very sad thing, frankly, for the world, because if you look at what's gone to our country has gone to hell. Our borders are bad. Our military has been bad. You look at the taxes.
It's crazy that they also basically fucking like solidified Donald Trump as like the main guy by hosting this.
I mean,
Because
he
like,
is.
like if CNN is supposed to be the Democratic Party's like media operatives,
I'm telling you, DeSantis
they
lost.
they should be fucking hammering like some kind of division within the Republican Party's primaries.
DeSantis lost when he went after Disney.
Well, DeSantis lost when he went after Trump,
No, I mean he lost when he went after Disney.
but that
Okay.
too for sure. No, I think DeSantis.
Right?
You're right, actually.
His entire base is on scooters right now at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, DeSantis going after Disney was definitely not a smart move. He thought that he could like culture war his way, and he fucked up. You can't culture war that hard. You culture war too hard.
You can't fucking loot. Like, that's the most bipartisan place on the planet is Walt Disney World, right?
Yeah.
Liberals, leftists, except, well, actually not leftists. Liberals and Republicans love Walt Disney World. It's
true.
Okay? Leftists don't like anything, all right? But they liberals and Republicans love Walt Disney World, okay? Alike, okay?
Yeah, they're both.
Leftists don't like Disney World because it's fun and everybody loves it, okay? That's why they don't like Walt Disney World.
It's true. Leftists do hate fun.
You look at inflation, what's happened to inflation, it's just destroying our country. We've really become, in many ways, a third world country. And it's very sad what's happened in this administration. And it's something that will turn around on day one. We were energy independent. Now energy is at a level that we've never had to pay before. Nobody can afford to continue to pay what's happening with energy. But we were energy independent. We were getting out of Afghanistan with strength and with dignity. And instead we got out, we looked like fools, probably the most
And Mr.
embarrassing
President,
moment in the history
Thank
of our
you,
country.
socialism.
We have a lot
is
of
when
questions
no
about the
fun for the
economy
5
and foreign
gifted
policy
subs.
tonight, but what you just said there, Republican officials debunked those claims about fraudulent ballots. We want to give you a chance tonight.
Who?
Republican officials in Georgia and every single state. There is no your own election officials, Mr. President. So we wanted to give you a chance.
People were afraid to take on the issue, but we have a big problem in this country. We
wanted to give you a chance to
we have
acknowledge the
elections
results.
that were horrible. If you look at what happened in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, if you look at what happened in Detroit, Michigan, if you look at what happened in Atlanta,
I'll be honest,
millions
his
of
body,
votes,
his
and
his
all you have to do
posture
is
No, he always is like that.
I know, but his bad posture.
Whenever Trump is under attack or he feels uncomfortable, he always slouches like that.
Yeah, it's
Especially if he's sitting down.
Yeah.
He's always that's all. Have you seen the video? I think did I show you the video of him at the church? It's one of my favorite new Trump videos. Where he's at the fucking church and he's like playing with his $20 bills as he's about to go tithing. He always does that. He's just like sits like this.
Take a look at government cameras. You'll see them. People going to 28 different voting booths to vote, to put in 7 ballots apiece.
But Mr.
and
President,
they're
I
all
think
on
this
camera.
doesn't help him in the election.
Because there
I'm
is no
sorry, it
evidence of
doesn't.
that. Your own
Peddling
Oh,
voter fraud
him
does not
talking
help
about
him.
him talking about the
That doesn't
election was
help at all.
stolen doesn't help him.
That doesn't help him at all.
It doesn't help him in his rallies. In this regard, though, he is gonna come across as like doing a good job defending himself against the unjustifiable attacks from the lying liberal media.
Yeah, maybe to his base, but to the average person, he
Yeah.
sounds like a fucking lunatic.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm talking the independent
no, you know what
American
it is?
voter, he
It's
sounds
not
like a
that he
fucking
sounds like a
lunatic.
lunatic.
Yeah,
He sounds like a loser.
yeah, a
He
sore
sounds like
loser.
a sore loser.
A sore loser.
Everyone recognizes that, like, if you constantly talk about how hard you lost to Joe Biden,
Mm-hmm.
you automatically are making yourself look worse for no fucking reason. He just looks. It's been 2 years, dog. You're still talking about it. You're a fucking sore loser. You know, or 3 years. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck's going on? Time is passing way too fast.
Election officials
been 10
testified
years.
to that and have said that Republicans in these states did this. In Georgia, there were multiple recounts, including a hand recount. We have questions about the claims that you're making tonight from voters on this topic. I want to bring in Scott Dustin from Concord. He works in insurance litigation.
What the
He's an
fuck?
undeclared voter. That's what they call independents here
Okay.
in New Hampshire, as you know. He did vote for you in 2020. Scott, what's your
I'm curious if he's undeclared. Thank you, Mr.
No,
Jonathan.
they're New Hampshire. That's why.
Oh,
New
yeah.
Hampshire and Iowa are like this. They love behaving like people give a shit about them.
It's like my dad's an independent voter and he's voted Democrat for the last 40 years.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's like
there's
you.
no-
It's like you
Yeah.
claiming that you're an
No, I
independent voter.
re-registered to the Democratic Party.
You're such a pussy. You couldn't even hold out.
No, I couldn't hold out. I re-registered.
Yeah, he does.
I switched to the Independent Party I lost faith and then I re-registered.
Yeah, New Hampshire is like very libertarian. They want to be like Florida, but they're in the north, so they can't be too Florida. But it's one of those places. New Hampshire is so important. We're the first state to cast our vote, care about us. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's literally it's straight up. That's the whole point. That's why they don't even call them independent. They call them undeclared. We have a different name for it. Okay, got it, dude. It's fucking Iowa and New Hampshire are like the biggest dickheads. No one cares. Shut the fuck up.
what's your question for the president?
Hi, President
Scott.
Trump. Welcome back to New Hampshire.
Thank you.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud during your run for president?
Will I suspend?
He has a phenomenal hairline, though. Like, it's
Yeah.
kind of wild that his hairline is so good. Everything else is busted, but the hairline,
Yeah, it's pretty.
the hairline is too intact. It's like fucking crazy.
Everything else, yeah. But he can fix everything else. You know what I mean?
I've never
You can't.
seen.
I'm telling you, if I'm this guy, I gotta, because like, look, we can't fix our fucking hairlines. Look, mine's going south. It's.
Yeah, me too,
Like,
brother.
I mean, look,
at that.
I'm doing the best I can. All right?
Look
I'm
at
pushing
that.
as far forward as possible.
Look at that.
Look, I don't even want to pull mine back. It's
Do it.
trouble. No,
Do
I'm
it,
not doing
pussy.
it.
Do it.
No, I'm not doing
Do it.
No, get you.
Do it.
Here. No, it's all an illusion.
No.
I've been fighting it with PRP and supplements, and it's been working. Actually, it's been getting thicker
I've been, dude.
slowly but surely.
Dude, you are so ridiculous today.
What?
We're filming vlog content, and he's like, Mauricio, turn the camera around, flip it around. I gotta see
Make sure
myself.
check my hair.
He's like, I'm like, Austin, this isn't like a still. This
I'll be
isn't
honest.
a still, dog. This
I'm
is
being
like a
very
whole
candid.
ass vlog.
My fucking hair went through a very rough time last summer, and I saw videos. Everybody noticed. And,
Really? What do you mean?
It was just not doing good. So I changed a lot of things. I went and
Everybody
started getting
noticed. Like no
injections.
one noticed.
I went and got injections. You know, you guys just don't notice, right? It's kind of like
What do you mean? These are the guys who would notice
no,
if they did.
They didn't. Nobody noticed. Everybody noticed.
No one noticed, Austin.
Everybody noticed. If you look back at
You
the
saw
reviews,
one hater who was like, "Oh, dude, you
look
fucking...
at the YouTube comments on the next show. What do you call it? Fucking. I'm gonna look for this comment on the next podcast that I'm on. Austin's hair went through a really rough period last summer. But after all of his interventions, it's clearly
Why would anybody know what kind of interventions you've been through?
because I talk about them open and candidly.
You're so brave, dude.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man. Thank you for your candid way of
Wait,
talking
hold on.
about
Guy on the left, what?
what?
Scroll up.
I can't.
Okay.
What? What? Do you see it?
No.
Guy on the left drank from the fountain of incest.
Is that me?
Yeah. Well, you are. Oh no, he's talking about this guy.
Oh. I was like, I'm on the left too, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, you were about to get him banned.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
But it is factually accurate to say it about this guy.
What,
it
that I'm
seems.
incestual?
Excuse me?
No,
What?
this.
Will you suspend polarizing talk of election fraud
No, I think he's-
during your
I think
run
he's a
for
liberal.
president?
Yeah, unless I see election fraud. If I see election fraud, I think I have an obligation to say it. And you know what we went through a short while ago has
I
really
would-
put
I
our
would
country
talk
in a
back to
big
him.
problem.
What are you gonna do, get
I hope
kicked out of
to
a fucking
do that.
town hall?
I hope we're going to have very honest elections.
no.
We should have voter ID. We should have one-day elections. We should have paper ballots instead of these mail-in votes. But the answer is yes, and I hope that it's going to be very straight up, because if it's going to be straight up, we're going to win the election.
So you will suspend talk, to his question, about the 2020 election on the campaign
Well,
trail?
I guess we're going to just win. We're at a point now. We're getting so close. Let's just win it again and straighten out our country.
One other question on this.
Oh my God.
Look how happy they are, dude.
Oh my God.
Dude, CNN literally was just like, can we just, Mr. Trump, please take your cock out. We will suck it. Take your cock out.
Oh, look at that.
We're going to fucking double hand it, dude. We're going to put one finger in the butthole while we're fucking massaging your ball sack. Oh my Lord, dude. Oh my Lord. What a fucking, dude, this is incredible. This is incredible. I love being an undecided New Hampshire voter in the room and going, fuck yeah, dude, my president. Yeah. To be fair, if I was in that room, I would react the same
Oh,
way.
I know. You would totally
I would be going crazy. I'm like,
You,
yeah!
you would have your MAGA hat on.
Yeah, I'd have a MAGA hat on. I'd be fucking flipping off who I think is a
The
liberal.
thing is, if you were at a Trump rally, you would be like excited to meet him and getting a picture with him and shaking his hand and taking a selfie.
Oh, yeah.
You would be so into it.
Yeah, 100%. I dude, yeah.
And you know what? I respect it, because why waste the fucking energy arguing and saying what everybody's always said? It's like obvious.
Well, it's not only that, but
It's
also,
obvious.
what am I supposed to do when CNN's doing this? You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I own the Trump supporters. I, from my Twitch stream, really owned Donald Trump with logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
Like, surely he won't become president when, like, the multi-billion-dollar institution is literally glazing him. Offered him a platform, glazed him up like a fucking Krispy Kreme donut. Like, they're doing the most. Okay? So why not enjoy the ride? You know what I mean? So anyone that goes, oh man, this is really fucked up, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, it's CNN. They did this, and it's not because they're stupid. It's because they want Donald Trump to be the next president, okay?
Because the ratings went through the roof.
I'm not kidding, dude. They come on. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Like, what is this? This is crazy. Like, how do you look at this? How do your liberal parents look at the situation and not recognize the writing on the wall that, like, mainstream media wants the ratings?
I guarantee you, if I call my mom, she will say that he got destroyed in this town hall.
No, I think your mom will probably be upset at CNN too.
No.
I'm pretty sure liberals are
No.
actually universally upset at CNN right now.
My dad, who's an independent voter, was talking to me about how Biden's done a great job.
It don't matter. This is
He said
this is the first time Donald Trump is back to his 2016 ways, dude, and he's fucking on point. He's on fire. He's in a room full of people that are giving him applause breaks.
My dad's in his late
Laughter.
60s, okay? I mean, give him a break. All right, he's a liberal through and through.
See, like what is your mom
And
think
so
about
was
that?
my grandfather. My
My mom-
grandfather had a countdown clock till George W. Bush was out of office. We got him for Christmas one year. He used to write letters to the what do you call it? To the, like, he hated Nixon. He used to write letters to Nixon
That's awesome.
because he hated I think it was he didn't like the treatment of the Palestinian people. This is like back in the 70s or something. Well, I'm Lebanese. I mean, what you know? I mean,
Stacking crowds was
he was Lebanese. He's Lebanese. So.
Look, my mom was mad at 60 Minutes for the MTG thing. She won't like this. Like, liberals were upset at 60 Minutes. Liberals are like picking up copies of Manufacturing Consent, dude. They're out here. They're fucking mad at libtard media not doing the job that it's supposed to do.
When you've talked about the 2020 election results in the past, you once suggested terminating the Constitution. Do you stand by those comments?
No. You were able to do certain things. I'm not talking about terminating the Constitution. I'm talking about cherishing the Constitution. The Constitution says that we're supposed to have legal and well-maintained and well-looked-at elections, and we didn't have that. I cherish our Constitution, but we have to live up to the Constitution. We weren't living up to the Constitution.
I mean, he's technically not wrong. Okay, here's why. Because our founding fathers did own a lot of slaves, okay? And they kind of didn't want everybody to vote.
Oh, that's true. They did.
So technically, he's not wrong. Like, according to their vision of America, like Donald Trump, despite the fact that he's German and therefore swarthy, is still like his understanding of like what elections should look like, i.e., benefit the side that wants to maintain the racial imbalance that existed even back in those days, is closer to the founding fathers' understanding of how the government should run. But I mean, look at the Senate. Look no further than the Senate to recognize that there is a genuine imbalance built into the entire thing.
Let me tell you about the Constitution.
Tell us about the Constitution. What do you say? It. Say the line. This is an old school Austin trope.
Look, our founding fathers were ahead of their time, and they created a document that wasn't stuck in that time period.
No, what did you used to say? Did you forget?
Living. It's a living, breathing document.
Yes, he said it.
To be interpreted in the context of time.
Oh, he said it. Oh,
it was
God.
ratified.
He's spitting. He's spitting.
In 1787.
He's spitting.
All right. And our forefathers understood that maybe 200 years later, we would have different problems that had to be dealt with differently than things were in 1787.
God, you are such a liberal.
And therefore, we have the ability to amend this Constitution.
Damn, dude. Damn straight.
Similarly, what we've done through time, right?
Hell yeah.
Why it doesn't make any sense that we interpret the right to bear arms, any sort of process to regulate the gun industry.
You're moving away to the other issues now.
Well, I'm setting up my platform because I'm running for president.
Okay.
Other issues like gun ownership are regulated. Anytime they're regulated, they say it infringes upon the rights of Americans, which is just blatantly untrue. I mean, you know what? We'll get into that. I'm gonna have a town hall at CNN, and we'll get into that. But for now, I don't want to really burden anybody with what I'm talking about. Trump's time now.
Just say there's no evidence of that election fraud. You did once tweet.
You're supposed to say that, but I'm glad you say that. But look, that was a horrible election. That was a horrible election, and unless somebody's very stupid, and I know you very well, you're not stupid at all, but you perhaps are given an agenda or you have an agenda. Look, we have to have honest elections in our country. We have open borders. We have...
Oh, yeah. Undecided voters.
Look at what's happening. I mean, we have elections. We have open borders. Look at what's happening on our southern border. Millions and millions of people are coming here. They're being released from prisons. They're being released from mental institutions. And we have millions of people pouring into our country.
What?
And now they're getting rid of Title 42, which I put on, which kept people out that were sick and
Mr. President,
problems.
we have a lot of questions about immigration to get to tonight. Obviously, that's a big topic, especially given what's expected to happen tomorrow. But I want to talk about the influence you have over your voters. It's very clear that you are very influential over them. You have a lot of impact. I've been to many of your rallies and seen it up close, which raised a lot of questions about the influence that we saw that you had on them on January 6th and your supporters when they attacked the Capitol. Do you have any regrets about your actions on January 6th?
Nope.
Well, you know, January 6th was, again, we go back to it, but January 6th had to do with the fact that hundreds of thousands of people, and you don't see the pictures very often. A lot of the people here probably were there.
He can't help himself but be proud of the crowd that was there. How big the crowd was.
January 6th, it was the largest crowd I've ever
He can't help
spoken
it.
to. That was prior to the walk down to
He can't help
the
it. He
Capitol
can't help
building.
himself.
I don't think, and I've spoken to hundreds of thousands of people. I've never spoken to a crowd as large as this.
He can't help
And that
it.
was because they thought the election was rigged. And they were there proud. They were there with love in their heart. That was an unbelievable, and it was a beautiful day.
Oh my
And
God!
what I was asked to do, I wasn't involved in it very
Oh my
much.
God!
I was asked to come in. Would I make a speech? I made a speech. I said, walk peacefully and patriotically, you know, many different things. In fact, I brought a list of things. I don't want to bore the audience, but we can go sentence after sentence
Dude.
after sentence.
We're gonna get kicked out.
Sorry. He called January 6th
I
a
know,
beautiful
I'm
day.
Listening. I can hear it.
All right.
I can hear
Things
you
I said
fucking
and things I
yelling
put
like
out.
a hyena too.
One of the big
Sorry.
problems was that Nancy Pelosi, Crazy Nancy as I affectionately call her, Crazy Nancy Pelosi and the mayor of Washington were in charge, as you know, of security. And they
They're
did
not in
not do
charge of
their
the
job.
National Guard. You're in charge of the
They
National
are in
Guard.
well, I offered them National Guard. I said, we'll give you soldiers, we'll give you National Guard, we'll give you whatever you want.
This is my favorite Trump argument, I think, or one of my favorite. There's so many good ones, because it implies that Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the unrest.
Yeah.
That what also he simultaneously considers to be very peaceful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand it. Like, on the one hand, you started out by saying it was the largest crowd of peaceful Americans who love the United States of America. And then you immediately switch it around and say, and Nancy Pelosi is responsible for the unrest because she didn't want the National Guard. She didn't want the National Guard to be there. To do what? To stop the unrest? Is that what you're saying?
And also, he was the fucking president of the United States
Yeah, I know.
at the time.
Which, yeah,
Right? Didn't
yeah.
he have the authority to call in override the Speaker of the House?
I don't know the exact intricacies of it, but it doesn't matter because
He was the president.
I'm more focused on the fact that, like, yeah, as someone said, it's like the Schrodinger's riot, where it wasn't a riot, but it was also a riot. But if it was a riot, it was because of Nancy Pelosi. Like, it doesn't make sense. He said Pelosi created a beautiful day. It's a compliment. True. It was a beautiful day, January 6th. Thankfully, Nancy Pelosi didn't want the National Guard there because it was a beautiful day and it was not a riot. Austin with 12 hours of sleep is a different level of funny. I really think you could take HasanAbi's job, Austin. I mean, fucking,
There's
can
no
try.
fucking way.
He can try, dude.
There's no fucking way.
Nobody wants this job. I don't think people realize that. Like,
No fucking way. I can take it for like maybe 2 hours at a time.
you need to be severely mentally ill to do this all day,
Yeah,
every
I'm gonna
day.
pass hard.
Yeah, people.
I will run for president though.
Which is kind of like this then. So
I'll run for president. As the first capitalist socialist.
How does that work?
Well, I'm a socialist. Depends on who I'm talking to, right? So if you're a leftist, I'm socialist. If you're a capitalist, I'm a capitalist. It's like I'm kind of like a chameleon. You know what I mean? It
Very
just depends
cool.
on who I'm speaking to.
And they turned me down.
You're
and in
acting
fact, she
defense
turned me down.
secretary.
She turned me down in writing. They turned me down.
But your acting defense secretary, Chris Miller, at the time, he says you never gave a formal order to deploy the National Guard. But when it came
Excuse
to
me,
that day,
just the
Excuse
opposite.
me.
He
Chris
test-
Miller wrote a book, and he's a fantastic guy, and he was ready to go. They turned him down. If you look, the mayor of Washington, D.C., lovely lady, she said, we don't want it. We don't like the look. Nancy Pelosi said, oh, we don't like the look. If they would have had I offered them 10,000 soldiers. I said, It could be 10, it could be more, but I offered them specifically 10,000 soldiers. If they would have taken 500 soldiers, you wouldn't have had the problem. They turned it down. And if you look at the Inspector General report, he says they turned it down. They made a terrible mistake.
Well, Chris Miller was your acting defense secretary. He says you never gave that order. But back to what happened on that day.
He
You said
did
you
not
weren't.
say that.
He has testified that, Mr.
He did
President.
not say that.
But you said you weren't very.
He did say that, though.
That's so funny. No, don't believe you. Testify. He didn't testify. He testified. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. He told me. He called me up after. He said, Mr. President, I'm so sorry. I had to lie to them. I had to tell them at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break, Mr. President. Which, by the way, is the case. At the top of the hour, there is a 3-minute ad break if you no longer want to see those ads. All you need to do is subscribe for $5 or for free with Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one beautiful, free Prime subscription a month. Believe me, folks. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully it's me. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Oh my god, breaking news. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Oh my god. Elon Musk is stepping down from Twitter. What the fuck is happening, dude? What is happening? 3-minute ad break now is coming, by the way.
He's stepping down as the CEO of Twitter.
Yeah. Smoking on that Elon pack.
So now, like, he can't.
I mean, he'll still oversee it. He's definitely an awful micromanager. You know what I mean? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I don't know. I mean, he edited it. Maybe he'll edit it again. Anyway, here's a 3-minute ad break now.
Overseeing product, software, and size.
We'll cover that in a second. Wait, what?
Why would you
I made
show that?
Austin English. They made you British, bro. What you mean? You look like you'd be in The Only Way is Essex.
You
Like a day, like a fucking UK
you
day.
added like 100 pounds to my lower face.
No, he just gave you a fucking fat jaw, dude.
Oh,
It's hot. You look hot.
yeah. You think I could pick up birds looking like that?
Yeah, look at this fucking ping bird. Look at this
I can
fucking
pick up-
ping bird.
I can
Yeah.
pick up birds.
You looking fucking sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a fucking meat shanking.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Is the new CEO the redheaded libertarian? Oh my god, that'd be so funny. Elon Musk is so fucking horny. He made the redheaded libertarian the CEO. Okay, let's get back to Donald Trump. We'll cover that in a little bit.
Very involved that day. You did tell your supporters to come to Washington. You tweeted about it, about
Sure,
that
of
speech
course.
that happened on the rally.
Am I allowed
when
to
they,
say that?
When they went to the Capitol and they were breaking into the Capitol, smashing windows, injuring police officers, why did it take you 3 hours to tell them to go home?
I don't believe it did. Oh, let me pull it out. I have to pull it out. So if you look at
CNN, by the way.
Oh god.
Dude, I love this dude. Dude, listen. I don't want to hear from anybody, okay? I don't want to hear from anybody ever again. Anytime anyone comes in here and says, Hassan, like, you're the reason why America is such and such, okay? No, motherfucker. That's CNN, dog. That's their shit, okay?
What if the only reason he agreed to do the town hall is if he could put his supporters in the audience?
I mean, you don't have to do the town hall then. You can just do, nah, we're not going to cover this town hall. We're not going to give you a town hall.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. No, they did it because they're hungry. They're horny for ratings, and they, more importantly than that, want Donald Trump to be president. There's no doubt in my mind. There's zero doubt in my mind that CNN abso-fucking-lutely knows what Donald Trump is, knows what kind of a fucking media demon he is, and they absolutely want Donald Trump to be president. They want it. They want it to happen. 1,000,000%.
Dude, I can't believe there's a fucking election next year.
Yeah, I know.
Jesus Christ.
It's starting. The primaries are like upon us. You know what I mean?
Dude, the primaries are upon us. Wow, not only is CNN's ratings about to go through the roof, HasanAbi's ratings are about to go through the ceiling.
Yeah, this is when everyone acts like they give a shit about politics. Well, it's an incumbent, so it's a little different.
I'm ready for the fucking debates. Are you kidding me? Remember? Am I gonna be on your debate covering squad again? Or
No.
have I been eliminated?
Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, I hired a new gay,
Oh, really?
George Santos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
he's
Okay.
He's our new gay instead.
Okay. I see. Whatever.
I like that you're like kind of bitter. Like
Yeah.
it's very clearly a joke, but you still are
I mean, Hassan.
a little upset.
Yeah. Whatever. I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Okay.
On January 5th, the day before, I said, please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. Stay peaceful. This was the day before, and this was in the form of Twitter. Now I use Truth, Truth Social. I think it's false.
In the form of this was in the form of Twitter.
Okay. I hope everybody's on Truth. If you look, okay. And this was in the form of Twitter. Now I use Truth, Truth Social. I think it's far superior. Okay. I hope everybody's on Truth. If you look, January 6th, this is before 2:30. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. This is right after, as it was happening. But what happened is they took it down. I don't know why. I think they took it down because it was so good. They didn't like it being up there. I am asking, and we didn't know.
He's so good. Oh, he's so good. He's so fucking good. Oh my God. Oh, dude, he's so back. This is Trump at his best. This is peak Trump, okay? Undefeated. It's just like, it doesn't get any better. He's out here. He's fucking quick on his feet. He's making jokes. He's shitting on the libs. He's owning them super hard. I mean, you could not have done a better job if you tried. Fox News couldn't prop up Donald Trump this way because Fox News doesn't have liberals, okay? Because a principle of being a reactionary is reacting, right? You have to react to progress. Someone who is like supposedly a vector for progressive values. CNN putting up their Tucker Carlson writer, Caitlin Collins, to play that role so perfectly is incredible. Fox News having Donald Trump on to do his tight five, they do it every night. He goes on Sean Hannity sucks him off. He goes on Mark Levin sucks him off. He's getting his dick sucked by Fox News anchors all the time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's not that good. That doesn't get the job done. Okay? What gets the job done is when he's against a libtard that he is owning. Okay? This is literally better than what Fox News could ever put together. And CNN is playing the role
times where
perfectly.
your commentary is no different than like a conservative pundit's commentary.
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't know. You just called her a libtard.
I mean, she's a libtard. But she's not. She's not even a libtard. She's like actually a conservative. Which, I mean, I didn't even know. I didn't even know that she was. I didn't know she wrote for the Daily Caller.
Right.
Like, that actually shocked me. I did not know that.
Until I got it back, because now I have 90 million people waiting for me to go back, but I'm on Truth, and I'm staying on Truth. Listen, I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. No violation. We want no violation. We want no violence.
To be fair, everyone's a
Remember,
libtard.
we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue. Thank you. That was at 2:30. That was very early.
Mr. President, I looked at the same timeline that you did.
No,
Once
no,
it was
but you
clear,
didn't report that. You know why? Because it was
We
taken
did report
down.
it. I was reporting that
It was
day.
taken down and it wasn't
But when
put
it was
back up.
clear to you that they were not being peaceful, you saw them rushing the Capitol, breaking windows. They were hitting officers with flagpoles, tasing them, beating them up. When it was clear they weren't being peaceful, why did you wait 3 hours to tell them to leave the Capitol? They listen to you like no one else. You know that.
They do. I agree with that. But
So why
Nancy
didn't you tell them to go
Pelosi,
sooner?
Nancy
That's a
Pelosi and the
libtard
mayor are in
question. She's a
charge. I
libtard.
assume they were able to do their job. They weren't.
But
And it
Pelosi's
kicked
not in
in.
charge of
And
Capitol
if you remember,
security.
I made a video right outside the Oval Office in the Rose Garden. And I'm very proud of that video. I didn't have a script. I don't need scripts like a certain person that's in
But what
there right
time,
now.
the video, it came out much later after they had already attacked the
there.
Capitol.
It was a great video. And it was a beautiful video. And it said, I mean, I don't want to read it all, but you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order.
No, I'm very.
We have to respect our great people of law and order. We love the people of law and order. We can't play into the hands of these other people. We have to have peace. Please go home. I
Well,
said that.
referring
You know
to
what
the
they
law and
did?
order there,
They took
Mr.
that
President.
down, and to this day, it hasn't been put up. And the reason is it's so good and so conclusive that all of this nonsense and all of the tens of millions of dollars that have been spent are just wiped away with this one. And they've never put it back up. They had another one that they did the same
But that
thing.
video that you referenced there, it wasn't posted until 4:17 p.m.
No, I'll tell
They
you.
breached
Here,
the
I think
Capitol
we
at
can
2
pull your
p.m.
That video was
Mr. President.
posted,
4:17
yeah,
p.m.
before, actually a little bit before that.
Right, so that's my
Excuse
question.
me.
Because in that 3 hours, over
Excuse
140
me, it was
officers
posted
were
after the
injured.
first one I just read, though, and that was at 2 o'clock.
But I think the reason the timeline is so critical here,
chair,
because
pull it up.
going back to your influence,
Close.
in
Here's
that
another
3
one I
hours,
posted.
over 140 officers were injured that day.
No, be closer.
And a person named Ashley Babbitt was killed.
Yes.
You know what? She was killed, and she shouldn't have been killed. And that thug that killed her, there was no reason to shoot her. At blank range, cold blank range, they shot her, and she was a good person. She was a patriot.
One
There was
person
no
who was
reason.
there-
There was no reason.
patriot?
And
Yeah, she's a QAnon.
he went on television to brag about the fact that he killed her.
The officer was not bragging about the fact that he
Oh,
killed
he
her.
was
But one
bragging.
person who was at the
He was
Capitol that
bragging.
day, as you know, was your vice president, Mike Pence, who says that you endangered his life on that day.
I don't
Do
think
you
he was in
feel,
any danger.
Mr. President, do you feel that you owe
Call
him an
him a pussy.
apology?
No, because he did something wrong. He should have put the votes back to the state legislatures, and I think we would have had
He's
a.
so, dude, that's so
mask
good.
off.
That's so good. He's like, no, he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves the death threats. He should have done it. He should have stopped the process. He should have stopped the steal.
This is signature Trump in great content, but I also don't think it bodes well for him.
No,
I don't think this is good for him. No,
dude,
I don't think so.
he's
It's
owning.
good for his base.
I know, but
It's
he's
good for his
he's
base,
owning a
and that's it.
libtard. He's owning a libtard. That's
I
all
don't
that
think,
matters.
I don't think this is good for him. I really don't.
That it doesn't matter. He's not looking. He's not looking pathetic.
He looks.
He's looking strong. If anything, people are just probably gonna be like, yeah, whatever. He's just like he's petty, but he's just like pushing the same shit over and over again. But
See, I have some people agreeing with me in the chat.
okay, well, I guess I'm wrong then.
Yeah, you're absolutely wrong.
I've never disagreed.
This
with
is
my
not. Look again to the and look. I called the last election. I'm going to call it again. This is appealing to maybe 35% of the country.
Yeah,
His base.
yeah, it's a good base to have.
Yeah, appeals to 35% of the country.
Listen, man, Joe Biden. Look, I'm not saying Donald Trump's gonna beat Joe Biden. Okay, Donald Trump lost to Joe Biden already, but that was also right at the heels of COVID.
Yeah.
And not at the heels of like sky high inflation with like real wage depression.
That's the economy is a big issue for Biden.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of factors that are hurting Joseph Robinette Biden right now.
But also, one thing I will say is by all metrics, the Democrats should have been absolutely slaughtered in the midterm elections. But
It's true.
But for some reason, an act of God, all the preconceived notions of
Is not
what
a-
should happen based on statistics and what we understand should happen based on what's happening with the economy seem to be the things seem to be different now.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it was an act of God,
What do you think it was?
brother. I think it was
It was a rejection of MAGA Republicans.
them constantly talking about like one, the election being stolen
Yeah.
and going crazy mode over it.
Yeah.
And two, like they're like satanic, pedophile hunters
Monroe.
who are constantly talking about. Who are constantly
Roe
talking
v.
about
Wade.
children's genitals and Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade being the biggest one, of course.
Yep.
Ironic because Donald Trump, if it was up to him, he would have tried to stop Roe v. Wade from getting eviscerated in the Supreme Court. Like, he's fine putting the Supreme Court justices in that position. But if you were to ask him, Donald Trump, dead ass, straight up, do you think the Supreme Court justices should, like, destroy Roe v. Wade? Like, in a private setting, obviously, not in public. He would probably be like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Of course not. Because it's always way better to dangle it in front of the evangelical base as a carrot, not to actually give them that. Because he knows how to read the room. So, you know, the Republicans kind of fucked him up a little bit on that front. Or themselves, really. They're a victim of their own success.
Different outcome. I really do.
But he doesn't have the authority to do that, as you know.
What?
The vice president does not have the authority to
Okay,
reject
are you
those
ready? Let's have
elections.
this one
They're
out just now, because it's interesting. Let's keep it interesting, right? I like Mike Pence very much. He's a very fine man. He's a very nice man. He made a mistake. His lawyer said, you cannot move. I called him the human conveyor belt. I said, even if the votes, I talked to his lawyer, even if the votes are absolutely fraudulent, he can't say, yes, sir, he can't send back. And the Democrats played it, and the rhinos played it. And then the election was over. They told him he couldn't do it. And Mike said to me, I can't do it. The lawyers told me I can't do it. They can't do it. But the lawyers were wrong, because right after the election, they all met, the rhinos and the Democrats, and they worked out a plan to make sure that future vice presidents don't do what I said you could do.
That's not what happened. You're referring to the Electoral Count Act.
That's
I've read that. There is no authority.
No,
legal
excuse
experts,
me.
including Republican legal experts, say that he does not have that authority, Mr. President. But I want to
why
move
did
on.
they change the law then, saying that you can't do it?
They didn't change the law. They strengthened the law because they were worried about
Oh, they
presidents
strengthened it,
exploiting.
meaning you could do it.
That's not what it means.
Thank you.
Thank
They
you.
strengthened.
Okay, you think that doesn't look strong?
Well, I'm a liberal, so
You think that doesn't look strong to independents?
no, because it's batshit crazy to think that the election was stolen. And I
It
think
is.
the average person.
It is, but they're not even talking about that at that point. Now they're talking about something entirely unrelated, even though it's totally related. They're talking about like minutia. When you get lost in the fucking minutia,
But
when you get lost in the sauce.
Is it a bad? It's batshit crazy to think that Mike Pence could have saved.
No, I agree with you.
But that's
I
what I'm
agree
saying.
with
That's
you.
why I
But
don't think
now,
this
but
is-
now
this is
he's
appealing.
winning on points. Like he's winning.
I will be
he's
charitable.
winning-
I will tell you when I think he's winning on something.
He's winning talking points for no fucking reason. What you're supposed to do is lock him in to the main point of contention, which is like, you sound like a sore loser. Make him sound like a sore loser. Now he is unnecessarily winning talking points against his interlocutor, who is a well-spoken and at least like kind of liberal presenting presenter. You know what I mean?
Fair.
That crowd are not independents. Yeah, they are not independent, dude. They are fucking. Hassan, stop it. He already nutted. You're gonna kill him. Stop it.
Mike had the right to do it.
The room's going crazy.
Convinced him he didn't, and it was a horrible thing for our country. If you would have sent those votes back to Georgia, Pennsylvania, and other states, Wisconsin, which if you look at Wisconsin, they virtually admitted now that the election was rigged. If
They
you
have
would have
not
sent
admitted
those
that,
votes
Mr.
back to
President.
many of those states, they would not come back in the affirmative. And remember what I said, and you just said it pretty much. You admitted what I said was right.
I
They
did
said he
not.
didn't have the right to do it, and he did have the right to do it, and that's why they changed the law, taking that right away.
I should note that your campaign paid for a recount that happened in Wisconsin. It actually had more votes for President Biden by the end of it. But I want to move on to Wayne Byer. He's a retired attorney from
By the
North
way,
Conway.
so many
love that.
illegal
You are
votes
lived
were
up.
That was
cast
a
in
good one.
Wisconsin, and if you look in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, they had so many illegal votes, they didn't even know what to do with them. You're absolutely wrong.
Mr.
about
President,
that.
there weren't any fraudulent votes in Wisconsin. I do want to get to the audience, though. We have questions for you from the audience. Wayne Byer is a retired attorney from North Conway. He has previously served in Republican administrations. He volunteered for the Republican Party in the 2022 midterms. He voted for you in 2020. What's your question for the president, Wayne?
Thank you for coming, Mr. President.
Thank you, Wayne.
My question.
Bro, they can't find people in New Hampshire that haven't voted for Donald Trump.
Did he just say my president?
Yeah, he did.
Instead of
My president. I mean, my question.
to you is, will you pardon the January 6 rioters who were convicted of federal offenses?
I am inclined to pardon many of them. I can't say for every single one, because a couple of them probably they got out of control. But, you know, when you look at Antifa, what they've done to Portland, and if you look at Antifa, look at what they've done to
So wait,
Minneapolis and
hold on.
so many
Let me
other.
get this straight. The rioters that went in, they're Antifa, but then he should also pardon them. So which one is it?
It's both. It's fucking owned. Libtard.
Like it's both. Like what is it? Are they Antifa plants or are they?
They're Antifa
So
and
many
they're
other
also
places.
good Americans.
Look at what they did to Seattle and BLM. Many people were killed. These people, I'm not trying to justify anything, but you have two standards of justice in this country, and what they've done, and I love that question, because what they've done to so many people is nothing. And then what they've done to these people, they've persecuted these people. And yeah, my answer is I am most likely, if I get in, I will most likely, I would say it will be a large portion of them. You know, they did a very, and it'll be very early on. And they're living in hell right now.
So when it comes
they're
to
living
pardons,
in hell. And they're policemen, and they're firemen, and they're soldiers, and they're carpenters and electricians, and they're great people. Many of them are just great people.
Mr. President, one of the people
I
who
don't
was
think that helps
convicted
him, man.
was
I
a
really
former
don't.
policeman, but he was convicted
I
of
don't
attacking
think
a
that
police
helps
officer.
him,
I should
son.
know.
I really
But when you
don't.
said you are considering pardoning a large portion of those charged with crimes on January 6th, does that include the 4 Proud Boys members who were charged and convicted of seditious conspiracy?
I don't know. I'd have to look at their case, but I will say in Washington, D.C., you cannot get a fair trial. You cannot. Just like in New York City, you can't get a fair trial either.
Dude, he's talking about the January 6 rioters that he's going to pardon. You only have this disposition towards, you only have this feeling because you have a preconceived notion, which is understandable. I do too. He's like, oh yeah, I'm going to pardon them. They are unjustifiably in jail. But even to an independent, if they look at like, the BLM riots, which, the media definitely fucking hammered on a similar narrative to Donald Trump, making it seem like, especially local media, made it seem like riots were out of control. They were everywhere. They were left. They were right. And, local business owners were getting murdered by these scary black people, right? He's saying, without actually saying, January 6th, they did something right. They should not deserve prison sentences. He's basically just saying, he's doing whataboutism. He's basically saying, like, well, the BLM Antifa thugs never got anything, which is not even true, by the way. There were plenty of people that went to jail and took lengthy prison sentences during the Black Lives Matter protest, for the record. So it's not even true. But the media perception and the perception of the people due to the media coverage of the matter is that these people did not get any kind of harm whatsoever. So he's just hyper focusing on the double standard. People love perceived hypocrisy. Oh my God, they love hypocrisy hunting. Like, he's doing a very good job of deflecting away from the main points of contention and conducting himself in a way that he did exactly like he did in 2016. In 2016, you probably watched Donald Trump and you were like, this guy's a goof. He's goofball. He's crazy. He's out of his mind. Now, he's doing the exact same shit he did in 2016. Now, of course, there are major disadvantages that Donald Trump has right now. Are you falling asleep?
No,
I just saw your eyes close.
I was blinking for a prolonged period of time.
Okay.
It's what I do when I think.
Okay, well, one major problem is that Donald Trump has been president.
Right.
So we know what that looked like. And, it wasn't great for so much so that, like, people literally didn't vote for him. They voted, they either stayed home or they voted for Joe Biden. A lot of people voted for Trump, but a lot more people voted for Joe Brandon. So he lost already. So we know what this matchup looks like. So that's a huge hurdle that needs to clear. And unless he, like, shakes it up and, like, finds something new, rehashing these old conversations and ultimately owning libtards in the marketplace of ideas might not actually take him over the finish line. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel there. So fear not. However, having said that, this certainly is improving his chances.
If anything,
for no reason.
As a voter, as an independent voter, right? I look at this and I say it doesn't, before he talked, I'm like, maybe life was, maybe I could see, maybe Trump wasn't so bad. He's now reminding me of all the reasons why he's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but you're a Democrat. You're a lifelong
No, I'm an independent voter.
No, you're not. You're a lifelong Democrat.
I'm an independent
voter. Yeah, you're an
voter.
independent like those guys are independents. Well, yeah, you guys are both independents.
I'm an independent American voter, and I'm saying no, but even as a liberal, even as a Democrat, lifelong Democrat, over the time that's gone on, I more have seen Trump as like, oh, he's a jokester. You know what I mean? Like as time has progressed, now I'm all reminded of all the fucking batshit crazy this motherfucker is.
Good.
Right?
You're a libtard. So
Well,
you're
look,
gonna.
but I think that will stand true with the American people.
I think
right?
ultimately,
Like not that I know he's batshit crazy. I know he's fucking terrible, but I think you just kind of get reminded of how crazy. Like you can't remember how there was just like a fucking like so much crazy shit that happened during his administration.
Yeah.
And this reminds me of all that crazy shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but that excites his base. In
How
the
he
same
wins
way.
is
That excites his base in the same way that it frustrates you, right? However, the real point here is, will it actually move the needle for him in a significant way with independent voters, which tended to favor the Democratic Party in the midterm elections? Okay? At a time when the economy was worse than it is now, because inflation has cooled down a little bit, will we have that soft landing? It may be. You know what I mean? It's just entirely dependent on what happens to the economy in the next, in the upcoming year and a half. But having said that, Donald Trump has a lot of negatives now working against him. He is very much a part of the system. So it's a little bit harder for him to, as a former president, make himself seem like the independent candidate that came out of nowhere. That you should,
fighting against the establishment.
Fighting against the establishment. That you
draining
should,
the swamp. He became the swamp. He became what he was fighting against, and he is the establishment.
Yeah.
And he was like the underdog, the outsider. He's no longer the outsider anymore, which is what he struggled with in 2020.
Yeah. But people were willing to give him people were willing to bet on him, especially against Hillary Clinton, who is the face of this rigid establishment.
I
right?
actually think Hillary Clinton would have a better shot the second time.
Oh my God! Don't put that out. Don't put that out there. Do not put that out there, Austin. She will hear this and she will run.
Look. All I'm saying is.
Oh my God! Oh no! We're so fucking cooked.
No.
We're done.
All I'm saying is.
We're done, boys. It's over. It's over.
Look. All I'm saying
Trump is the next president.
No.
Hillary Clinton runs right now. Trump is the next president. I 100%
Joe
guarantee.
Biden is a carcass.
Joe Biden is still, as a carcass, better than Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden was a carcass last time he ran, and he beat Donald Trump.
I know, but who
didn't beat Donald Trump? You know who didn't beat Donald Trump? Hillary Rodham Clinton.
I don't know how to say this, but he's somehow less lifeless than he was a few years ago. And I don't even know how that was possible.
That's not even true. He was way worse on the campaign.
They're gonna have to give him cocaine before the debates.
Dude, no shot.
They're gonna have to pump him. They're gonna have to concoct something that will keep his I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I don't know. I don't know. He just needs to not campaign.
Bro, Biden is the incumbent. The incumbent advantage is gigantic.
Speaking of New York, I want to ask you about a significant verdict that was reached yesterday. I know this is something you want to weigh in on as well. A Manhattan jury found that you sexually abused the writer E. Jean Carroll and defamed her. You've denied.
Oh, this is the best part that's incoming right now.
I've seen it.
He goes off for 2.5 minutes here, and it's just fucking insane.
This, but what do you say to voters who say it disqualifies you from being president?
Well, there aren't too many of them because my poll numbers just came out. They went up. Okay.
Ooh, that's a great response. God, he's such a piece of shit.
I'm the only person in history who had a charge like that. And usually you leave office, you say, I'm sorry, but I'm going to back home. I'm back home to my family and everything. I'm going to be resigned. My poll numbers went up, and they went up with the other fake charge, too. Because what's happening is they're doing this for election interference. This woman, I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. I had a picture taken years ago with her and her husband, nice guy, John Johnson. He was a newscaster, a very nice man. She called him an ape. Happens to be African American. Called him an ape. The judge wouldn't allow us to put that in. Her dog or her cat was named Vagina. The judge wouldn't allow to put that in. All of these things, but with her, they can put in anything. Access,
this
Hollywood.
This was a jury of 9 people who found you liable of sexual abuse. Do you think that will deter women from voting for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think
Her cat's name is Vagina. Why? What does that have to do with the case? He's trying to say the judge wasn't impartial. Okay? But, like, I don't even know what, like, how does that prove that the judge was impartial? I mean, the judge was partial, sorry. Vagina. Why is that relevant to the court case at all? I gotta run it back. The way he said that is so funny.
Says
This was a
Hollywood
jury
put in
of
anything.
9 people.
Her cat was named Vagina.
Her cat was named Vagina. What? Why?
The judge wasn't allowed to put that in. All of these things he would, but with her, Vagina was to put that in. Her dog or her cat was named Vagina.
Why? Why? Why is that a part of the why? Why did you bring that up? Why is that even in any way, shape, or form relevant to this conversation? Or why is that in any shape or form relevant to the court case? It makes no sense. Of course they didn't let you fucking put that in. Because it's so irrelevant. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
The judge wasn't allowed to put that in. All of these things he would, but with her, they could put in anything. Access,
This
Hollywood.
was a jury of
put in
9
anything.
people who found
That's right.
you liable of sexual abuse.
That's
Do you
right.
think that will deter women from voting for you?
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole thing, just so you understand, ready? I never met this woman. I never saw this woman. This woman said, I met her at the front door of Bergdorf Goodman, which I rarely go into, other than for a couple of charities. I met her in the front door. She was about 60 years old then. This is like 22, 23 years ago. I met her in the front door of Bergdorf Goodman. I was immediately attracted to her, and she was immediately attracted to me. And we had this great chemistry. We're walking into a crowded department store. We had this great chemistry, and a few minutes later, we end up in a room, a dressing room of Bergdorf Goodman, right near the cash register. And then she found out there were locks on the door. So she said, I found one that was open. She found one. She learned this at trial. She found one that was open. What kind of a woman meets somebody and brings them up, and within minutes, you're playing hanky-panky in a dressing room, okay? I don't know if she was married then or not. John Johnson, I feel sorry for you, John Johnson.
Mr. President, can I
No, but
answer this?
think of it. Think of
I
it.
know you're recounting what she said, but Mr. President.
I wish Austin was here for this. Austin! Yeah. What the fuck? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Okay, well, you're missing really good parts right now. He's cooking, dude. What? He's cooking, dude. I know. Give me a second. Almost done. I'm also ordering chicken tendies for you. I'm not hungry. Well, I'm ordering it anyway. This is a man who is liable to pay $5 million in a defamation suit that found him liable of sexual abuse. Okay? And he's over here completely reframing the narrative in an albeit humorous way. Okay? Is he defaming her right now? Yeah. While also doing the thing that he just lost the court case over. It's crazy. You cannot sit here and tell me that he's not doing a good job on this.
Let me just, if I could, because you asked the question.
This was a
just so you
jury,
understand,
though.
if I was walking in at the park, because I was very famous then, and I owned the Plaza Hotel right next door, and I owned buildings around it, I'm not going into our dressing room of a crowded department store. Then I say, if she was being raped, and by the way, they said she wasn't raped. Okay, that was her charge. It wasn't.
They found that you sexually abused her.
What? Say what? They did. They said he didn't rape her. And
They did
I
not
didn't
say
do
that
anything
either.
else either. You know what? Because I have no idea who the hell she is.
But Mr. President,
I don't know who this woman
can I
is.
ask you, given you're recounting
I
your
don't know
version?
who, and I tell you this.
But Mr.
Are
President,
you ready?
can I
And I
can I
swear
ask
on
you
my
because-
children, which I'd never do. I have no idea who this woman. This is a fake story.
Okay, he's swearing on Tiffany. I mean, you know, in his mind, he's like, I swear on my children, only Tiffany, not Ivanka. Tiffany can go.
Made up story. We had a horrible Clinton appointed judge. He was horrible. He allowed her to put everything in. He allowed us to put nothing in.
Mr. President,
this is a
you're
fake
recounting your version of
story.
events here right now to the audience. You referenced the trial. You did not go to the trial and actually
That's right.
testify. Do you wish that you had
No,
testified?
it wouldn't have made a difference. This is a rigged.
Sorry, Hassan, you love Trump, but normal people gonna find him disgusting talking like that? Oh yeah, totally. Remember when normal people found him disgusting because he said when you're famous, you can just they'll let you do it. You can grab him by the pussy. Remember that? Or when he said like Mexicans are rapists, normal people would find him disgusting. And then of course he lost to Hillary Clinton because normal people found him disgusting and they thought Hillary Clinton will win, surely. And then she won, and then she was the first female president of the United States of America, and the glass ceiling was broken. Oh yeah, that didn't happen. Because normal people don't give a fuck.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, but
Which
like,
is why I think we should run her again.
Oh my god, like, but why should normal people give a fuck?
I think we should run Michelle Obama. That's my professional.
My god. Oh my lord.
I think she'd win. Don't admit she'd win.
I think Michelle Obama would stand a decent chance, but the problem
See,
is...
I'm being honest. Guys, you guys hate
But
it now.
because Trump is not strong. The problem is Michelle Obama is still a relatively known entity, and you think that she would galvanize the liberal base, which is true, she would. But independents that voted for Donald Trump hated Barack Obama and went and voted for Donald Trump. And Michelle Obama is only a continuation of Barack Obama. So you're rehashing the same dynamics.
Yes. Yes. The Obama. Okay, now let me tell
In
you.
the
I'm
United
gonna give
States
you
of
two
America,
people. Two
in
people.
the United States of America, you cannot win a larger voter base
Two
with
people.
positive campaigning. You have to just make sure your opposition puts forward a shittier candidate and you depress voter turnout.
Two people that would beat the doors off of Trump. Okay, Michelle Obama and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
Okay, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson clears. Yes.
would beat the doors off.
I mean,
of
that's
Donald
not
Trump.
even a question. You can't even put Michelle Obama and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the same sentence.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would destroy
100%.
Donald Trump.
1,000%. 1,000,000%. Yes, I agree.
He would destroy the Rock as president of the United States.
Yes, The Rock would absolutely clear Trump, Joe Biden, most presidents.
And a third one I'm gonna throw into the ring. Last one.
All right, let's hear it.
Terry Crews.
Okay, now you're just doing idiocracy. You're just okay, dude. I mean, come on, dude. That's ridiculous. I can't believe you just said that. Yeah, he runs as Camacho. That's his name. President Camacho.
Oh God.
Ay. What a ridiculous.
Let me think of one more that I would really genuinely love to see run. for
Okay, you
president.
think, wow, this is
Deal. This was my lawyer said, sir, you don't have to do it. I actually said, I think I should. It would be respectful. They said, sir, don't do it. This is a fake story, and you don't want to give it credibility. That's why I didn't go.
One thing you did do in this.
And I swear, and I've never done that, and I swear to, I have no idea who the hell, she's a whack job.
Guys, Arnold Schwarzenegger wasn't born here. Like, he can run for governor and win, but he can't be the president. Okay? He's Austrian.
You did not testify in person in this trial. There was a taped deposition of you from October in it. You defended the comments that you made on that Access Hollywood tape about being able to grab women how you want.
See,
Do you stand by
look,
those comments?
The audience is already going, oh, You want to know why?
Because they're all his voters.
Yeah, well, that is true, but also they're going because this is double jeopardy at this point. Okay, he has been found not guilty in the eyes of the American public for saying what he said about women, like letting themselves letting Trump grab them by the pussy, because he became president after that. So like rehashing that over and over again is so fucking stupid. Like, it's fine. I get why you'd be upset about that. I totally do. But like, you're not making a good point at that point. Like, if your job is to like belittle him, humiliate him, call him into account, then do a better job, because no one gives a shit about that. They voted for him. They voted for him after the fact. It's been years and years. How is it any different than Trump constantly crying about Hillary Clinton, which he stopped doing, by the way? He doesn't do that anymore, if you noticed.
Well, yeah, crooked Hillary. They try to apply the same things that the attacks on Hillary that they do on Biden.
Okay, I gotta add 2 points here. One, I don't think Donald Trump is gonna win. Okay, unless CNN keeps doing this shit, because oh my lord, I think Donald Trump has a shot at victory if CNN and mainstream media keep covering him this way. I'm not even kidding. Like, they are. It's like CNN recognized that Trump's chances are shitty, and they were like, oh, we gotta fucking help him out. It's crazy.
I understand. This is what I think Trump's going to do in the Republican primary. Well, he's just going to clear. It doesn't even matter. But I think he's going to...
Well, you don't think the Indian dude is going to win with 1%?
Or DeSantis?
Well, DeSantis is not even... Yeah, he's not even running, so...
Wait, he's not?
Well, he hasn't announced it, and I don't think he will.
He'd be stupid. It's political suicide, right? Because then he gets dragged through a primary, becomes less likable, and then loses.
Yeah, I mean, Trump will destroy him. He's such a pussy to Trump anyway.
Will Trump even show up to the debates? He can't help himself.
No, I think, I mean, it depends. It depends on who his detractors are. Like, if they get enough clout and enough momentum behind them, and they force Donald Trump into debates, and Fox News, I think, will side with whoever the fuck is gonna go up against Donald Trump, because, like, at least for the primaries, they would want that to happen, because they don't want Donald Trump to be president. That much is clear, because Donald Trump is a liability to the party. So I don't know. What is this? Damn, so many breaking news happening today.
I said if you're famous and rich or whatever I said, but I said if you're a star, you...
Ratings are out for the town hall, 3.1 million, less than an average Tucker night on Fox. No, it's a little bit higher. Tucker is getting like 2.3. On good nights, he's getting 3. But again, you're right. CNN should be able to get more than Tucker Carlson on primetime for a Donald Trump town hall. So they're not even getting the rating juice that they needed. Wait, what? DeSantis did announce? Wait, what do you mean he announced?
No, he didn't. We would know that, unless it was like right now.
What?
No, he didn't. They're referring to the time when he says, I haven't even announced yet.
Yeah, he just said stay tuned. He didn't actually announce.
Yeah. He alluded to it.
Who are, and I said, women let you. I didn't say you grab. I said women let. You didn't use that word. But if you look, women let you. Now, they said, will you take that back? I said, look, for a million years, this is the way it's been. I want to be honest. This is the way it's been. I can take it back if you'd like to, but if you're a famous person, if you're a star, and I'm not referring to myself, I'm saying people that are famous, people that are
You were
stars,
asked in the deposition,
people
do you
that are
consider
rich,
yourself to be a star, and
people
you
that are
said yes.
powerful, they tend to do pretty well in a lot of different ways, okay? And you would like me to take that back? I can't take it back because it happens to be true. I said it's been true for 1 million years, approximately 1 million years, perhaps a little bit longer than that.
So you stand by those
Well,
comments?
I don't want to lie.
Mr. President, we have a lot of
here's what
questions.
she wants
Mr.
me to
President,
say.
let's
A
get to
rich
the
and
audience
famous
questions
person
tonight.
has no advantage over anyone else. Well, you do have an advantage. And I say unfortunately, but That's the way it is.
You said fortunately or unfortunately,
Well,
but Mr.
fortunately or
President, we have a lot
unfortunately
of
for
audience
her.
questions to get to tonight. I want to go back to the audience. We've got Danielle Rieger. She works as an oral surgery assistant. She's a Republican activist from Derry. She was a New Hampshire delegate for you in 2020. What's your question?
Hi, thank you so much for coming to New Hampshire to answer our questions. My question is regarding the economy. Over the past 2 years, we have seen the prices for everything skyrocket. From food to gas to utilities and insurance costs, many people's bills are up several $100s a month, including mine. If elected president again, what is the first thing you would do to help bring down the cost to make things more affordable?
Drill, baby, drill. You know what that was. So we were energy independent. We were soon going to be energy dominant. And nobody had ever done what I did. We got oil down to $1.87. Actually, it fell lower than that in some cases. We had to save the oil companies. The price was getting so. We were doing incredibly. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country, probably the greatest economy in the history of the world. We were energy independent, soon to be energy dominant. We were going to be bigger than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together ×2. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any other nation. And these stupid fools ended it. And energy went from $1.87 and even lower for gasoline, for a car. They went from $1.87 to $5, $6, $7, $8, and even $9. And your electricity bills went through the roof, your heating bills went through the roof. And that's what started inflation. And it hasn't stopped because people are paying now for...
E. Jean Carroll is already considering a new... I mean, this is BNO News. I don't know how fucking... real this is, but it doesn't really matter because she does have every right to do so because Donald Trump just lost the defamation suit and then literally defamed her in the exact same way. Like, that's crazy. He's doing the Alex Jones double down, dude. KFC double down, baby. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? Why do conservatives keep doing this? I guess they just like legitimately think that there is nothing, there's no legal recourse. And the criminal justice system and the legal system in general, like the court system, no matter what, with the exception of family court, of course, God damn it, Brenda, you took the children, are always going to side with them. Like, I don't know what it is. They just don't give a fuck. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
For bacon and for eggs and for the 2 and 3 times what it was just a little while ago. We created the greatest economy in history. A big part of that economy was got you the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan cuts, bigger than any.
Why are you clapping?
And also, Caitlin, also, as you know, we got the biggest regulation and regulatory cuts. This place was rocking, and then we were given a gift from China. And China paid a big price. And let me tell you something. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in taxes from China. But prior to COVID coming in, and then I rebuilt the economy again, a second time. But we had, prior to COVID coming in as from China, from Wuhan, which I said it came from Wuhan. Everybody said, oh, you're wrong about that. You're wrong. It came from Wuhan. I said it right from day one. So we had the greatest economy in the world. Here's the story. They made energy so high, and energy is all invasive. It is massive as an industry and as a cost. It lifted everything. If you made donuts, no matter what you did, and we had inflation, the likes of which I guess we haven't had, as I said, for 52 years, but I think more than that. We had no inflation. We had the lowest energy prices we've had in decades. This country was rocking and rolling. And by the way, we had the most secure border in the history of our country.
Mr. President, we have more questions on the economy. I want to make sure we get to all of those. As you know, the U.S. right now could be just 3 weeks away from defaulting on its debt. That could mean millions of jobs lost, people not getting their Social Security payments. People believe it would put the U.S. economy into a recession. On that topic, I want to bring in Marta Cervella, a student here at St. Anselm. She is an undeclared voter who did not vote in 2020. Marta, what's your question?
Hi, Mr. President.
Hi, thank you.
So my question is, what do you think about the United States' current debt situation, and how can we move forward?
Such an important question. So we're at $33 trillion, a number that nobody ever thought possible. When we had our economy rocking and rolling just prior to COVID coming in, like literally we were making a fortune. And oil, we were going to make so much money from oil, we were going to start paying off debt. But then with COVID coming in, we had to do other things. We had to keep this country alive because it was so serious. But we have to get the country back. We have to lower energy prices. We have to lower interest rates. Interest rates are through the roof. Energy has to come down. It all has to come down, and we have to start paying off debt. But when we have a debt limit, and they use that very seriously to me. They came in, Schumer came in with Nancy Pelosi, and they were using, we'll violate it, we'll do whatever. They talked a whole lot different than they do right now. I say to the Republicans out there, congressmen, senators, if they don't give you massive cuts, you're going to have to do a default. And I don't believe they're going to do a default because I think the Democrats will absolutely cave because you don't want to have that happen. But it's better than what we're doing right now, because we're spending money like drunken sailors.
So just to be clear, Mr. President, you think the U.S. should default if the White House does not agree to the spending cuts Republicans are demanding?
Well, you might as well do it now because you'll do it later, because we have to save this country. Our country is dying. Our country is being destroyed by stupid people, by very stupid people.
You once said that using the debt ceiling as a negotiating wedge just could not happen. You said that
the debt ceiling is for bills that have already been accounted for.
Yes.
Right? It's not for new spending. It's for things that we've money already spent, right?
Yes.
when you were in the
That's
Oval
when I was
Office.
president.
So why is it different now that you're out of office?
Because now I'm not president.
You literally admitted why he's
The U.S. defaulting would be massively
Well, you
consequential
don't know.
for everyone in this room, for all
You don't know.
Americans.
It's psychological. It's really psychological more than anything else. And it could be very bad. It could be maybe nothing. Maybe you have a bad week or a bad day. But look, you have to cut your costs. We're spending $7 trillion on, much of it on nonsense. $7 trillion on nonsense.
We've got
And
another
I actually
question from a
said,
voter tonight.
get all of that money that was wasted, and frankly, the Senate should have never approved it. Get all that money that was wasted, and if they don't get rid of that, you'll have to default. Okay?
Mr.
You'll have to
President,
default.
we've got another voter here tonight.
And by the way, you're going to default eventually anyway, but it's going to be much messier. I don't think you'll have to default. I think if the Republicans hold strong and they say let's say we want $5 trillion off, I really think the Democrats have no choice but to do it. And if I win, they're going to be doing the same thing to me in 2 years. I guarantee you that.
Mr. President,
they're going
we've
to
got
play a
another
very
voter here
hardball game,
tonight.
and they did that before.
Bobby Petrino has been waiting very patiently.
Sure.
He's a student at St. Anselm. He's a member of College Republicans. He's an undeclared voter right now. He supported you in 2020. Bobby, what's your question for President Trump?
Hi, thank you for coming. This is a bit of a pivot, but with gun violence and mass shootings in the news cycle recently, I'm worried that state governments and the federal government are going to act to repress gun rights. Under your administration, you instructed the Department of Justice and the ATF to ban bump stocks. If elected president again, how would you act not only to defend our Second Amendment rights, but to restore rights that have been taken from us, such as, by example, recently the ATF's ruling on the pistol stabilizing braces?
Yeah, as you know, the bump stocks are actually a very unimportant thing. And NRA, I went with them, and they said it doesn't mean anything. Or actually, all they do is teach you how to shoot very inaccurately. So we did that. There's been nobody that's protected the Second Amendment, as you know, like I have. I protected it through thick and thin, not easy to do. But we have a very big mental health problem in this country. And again, it's not the gun that pulls the trigger. It's the person that pulls the trigger. And we have to protect our Second Amendment. We have to protect our Second Amendment.
Mr. President, you dealt with a lot of mass shootings when you were in office. This year, there have already been more than 200 mass shootings in 2023. If you are reelected, are there any new gun restrictions that you would sign into law?
I would do numerous things. For instance, schools, we would harden, very, very much harden. And I'm a very believer. I believe in teachers. I love teachers. I think they're incredible. And they love the children, not quite like the parents, but they love the children in many cases almost as much. Many of these teachers are soldiers, ex-policemen.
What?
They're people that really understand weapons, and you don't need 5% of the teachers would be more than you could ever have if you're going to hire security guards. But in addition to that, have security guards. You have to harden your entrances. You have to make schools safe, and you can make other places safe. But it is a big mental health problem in this country more than anything else. And remember, we have 700 million guns, 700 million. Many people, if they don't have a gun, they're not going to be very safe. I mean, if they don't have a gun, it gives them security. Now,
Everyone
you need them
needs a
for
gun.
entertainment, you need them for hunting, you need them for a lot of different things. But there are people that if they didn't have the privilege of having a gun in some form,
Nobody's
many of
trying
them
to
would not
take
be
any-
alive
everybody's
today.
guns
You know,
away.
they're
That's the thing.
Bro. We are such a joke of a country. Okay? We are the fart of the world. Okay? He just fucking said there's 700 million guns in circulation. That's why you need guns. Like, as in implying that guns are dangerous, and the only way to combat guns is more guns. I mean, there's nothing you can do to that. Like, how? If that messaging sticks, it's a wrap. And it has. It kind of has stuck. The only way to combat gun violence is with more gun violence, but, like, in the right direction. That's awesome. What do you say to that? Nothing. You got nothing. We're owned. We're done. We're done. This country's done. Sir?
Sorry.
You can unpause it.
There's a certain country that had a very strict policy on guns, very, very strict.
Which country?
And, Brazil, okay? Brazil, very strict. And the former president of Brazil, and the killing was incredible. They were walking into people's homes and killing people. They had no protection. He said, go out and buy guns. People went out and bought guns, and it went way down. The numbers went way down because they had security. If you look at Chicago, Chicago has the single toughest gun policies in the nation. They are so tough you can't breathe. New York, too, and other places also. All of those places are the worst and most dangerous places. So that's not the answer.
No new restrictions that you would sign if reelected, Mr. President. I want you to meet Julie Miles, a registered nurse from Merrimack. She's a Republican who voted for you in 2020. Julie, what's your question for the president?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
I appreciate you answering this question this evening. How do you plan to appeal to women voters in New Hampshire who are concerned about the Dobbs decision and how states may change their laws?
It's such a great question, and it was such a great victory, and people are starting to understand it now. You know that they wanted to bring it back to the states, but that was probably the least important part of that victory. Getting rid of Roe v. Wade was an incredible thing for pro-life because it gave pro-life something to negotiate with. Pro-life had absolutely nothing being stuck in Roe v. Wade to negotiate with. And now what's happening, and I see it all over, deals are being made, deals are going to be made, and look, everybody that was president wanted to get rid and tried to get rid of Roe v. Wade.
You mean
for 50
Republicans?
years, Republicans.
I agree.
Bad question.
It is a bad answer.
Abortions are at an all-time high in popularity. They're the women's bodily autonomy.
This is perhaps the most important question of the town hall, and he's currently flubbing it.
Terrible answer.
Normally he avoids this. Like, I avoid the top of the hour ad break.
Women's bodily autonomy is incredibly popular.
Normally he fucking...
Even in states like Kentucky, right? Kentucky, they voted to
yeah. They
uphold
did.
the right.
They did.
To women's body body autonomy. It's not popular anymore. That wedge issue is not popular anymore.
It's never been popular. But it was always a great motivator for the evangelicals.
Right. And now they've gotten
it became a liability once they actually acted on it.
Yeah.
That is literally the reason why I was like, there's no way they'll actually repeal Roe v. Wade. That's crazy. Like, there's no fucking way. The reason why I always said that was because, like, it is so stupid. It is such a major misstep. Like, it blows my fucking mind.
But then here he is doubling down. It's a bad answer.
Which is why I'm shocked. Because Donald Trump usually is not this, like, open and shut, not this cut and dry. He's way more shifty and he's way more dodgy. He still tried to dodge it, if you notice. He's like, well, you know, it's good because now we can negotiate. Now we can negotiate. That's a pussy-ass answer.
He also said, the woman, the lady that asked the question, kind of set him up to sort of give a soft answer too.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh yeah,
And he
no, it's
doubled-
good that
and
we. It's good that we."
How do you address? He's supposed to address the concerned voter, aka the ones that did not support the Roe v. Wade decision, but instead he said it's a great victory. He doubled down on it, said it was wonderful, and it's a great victory for pro-life.
Look, this is the truth. Donald Trump knows this.
Yeah, that's why I'm so confused.
Yeah, that's why it was shocking that he fucking answered it that way. I'm shocked because that's such a bad answer. That's what I'm shocked about. He was getting bad information about how popular it was. It was the sycophants inflating. Does he go? No. No, Trump knows how to read the room, man. He knew that, like, abortion is a good motivator for evangelicals, but never when you actually... You don't let the dog finally catch up to the car. Because the dog doesn't know what to do when he's chasing the car, everything's fine. But when you finally catch up to the car, all of a sudden, you have no fucking clue what's going on. What the dog doing? At the top of the hour, the dog is subscribing. If you got that dog in you, you subscribe for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime to avoid the top of the hour ad breaks. If you no longer want to see those ads, this is all you got to do. Or you can get gifted a sub. Here is the 3-minute ad break now.
50 years, this has been going on. Actually, a couple of Democrats too. But for 50 years, this has been going on. I was able to do it, and I was very honored to do it. But by doing it, things are happening that are very, very positive. And I happen to believe in the exceptions, the life of the mother, rape, incest, like Ronald Reagan believed in the exceptions. But I happen to believe that. I think it's frankly important to do that, but a lot of people are, against that. A relatively small number. But the way I look, I think it's very important.
Look at him, dude. He's flubbing it. Are you seeing this?
Yes, it's a bad answer. It's a bad answer.
He's behaving like a Democrat right now. He's trying to reposition his stance. Abortion is murder. Now it's like, well, with some exceptions. And some people are against it. I don't know. It's a small group of people that are against the exception.
To say this, I consider the other side to be radical because the other side under Roe v. Wade and other things, the other side, they're radical because they will. Remember the debate with Hillary Clinton? I said, rip the baby out of the womb at the end of the 9th month. They will kill the baby in the 9th month.
They're going to shoot the baby
if you
after
look
it
at that
comes out
crazy
alive,
governor of
folks,
Virginia,
after 9
from
months.
the former governor,
We need
where he said, no, the baby will be born, and then we'll decide essentially whether or not to execute
But
the
Mr.
baby.
President, can we talk about what you would do if
No,
you
but
all...
these
That's
are
the only
radical
good
people.
law,
It's not
folks.
the
I'm gonna
pro-life
put it. We
people
can't
that are
shoot
But if
the
you
radical.
are
baby
reelected and you're
people.
back in the Oval Office and you get legislation to your
No
desk,
guns
would
in the
you sign
delivery
a
room,
federal
folks.
abortion ban into law?
What I'll do is negotiate so that people are happy. But the fact that I was able, I'm so proud of it. We put 3 great justices on the Supreme Court. We have almost 300 federal judges.
arm the
on the Supreme
baby.
Court.
So just to be clear, Mr. President, you would sign a federal abortion ban into law.
I said this. I want to do what's right. And we're looking. And we want to do what's right for everybody.
But what's right?
But now, for the first time,
What's
the
right?
people that are pro-life have negotiating capability because you didn't have it before. They could kill the baby in the 9th month or after the baby was born. Now they won't be able
But
to
I
do
think this
that.
is
Bro, he's trying to reposition this as a...
No.
The abolition... I mean, the...
Wait, what is he saying? You could kill the baby after a 9-month, after it was delivered alive?
Yeah, that stuff is a lie. It doesn't matter. But,
That's crazy.
but listen, you're failing to see the...
That's wild.
You're failing to see the forest for the trees.